Well, thank you for joining us once again here on Good Morning Uganda Friday special here on, UBC TV, where we're coming to you live again from Nile Avenue, just in case you ever want to pay us a visit. And we have such quite a very beautiful conversation. My name is Philomena Mastiko once again, and yes, I am joined by the beautiful Mollen, Kenyena, and again, I am joined by Robert Kirabo. It has been very, very, very hefty of a week, and just to get through with my colleagues, I want to know how they would actually consider their week was. Maybe just to start off with you, Mollen, good morning.
It's a very good morning to you, Philomena, and I want to say a special good morning for this Friday to our viewers. Thank you very much for moving with us right from Monday up until now. Well, the week started off quite okay, then we went into the roller coaster into the midweek, that's Wednesday, but again it just ended on a sad note with all those accidents on the road, and I guess then that takes us back. It's like all the accumulation of happiness you've been having in a week just goes away with such tragic accidents. But again, we are here to inspire you for today, and we hope that this Friday will bring you a little bit of inspiration to take you through.
Well, good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Philo, of course, our viewers. Thank you so much for waking up with us. And Mollen, about my week, this week began on Tuesday, to be honest.
Yes.
Because Monday was a public holiday, so it began on Tuesday. And apart from a bit of news coming in here, I'm also from the parliamentary committee, different parliamentary committees. I think what topped the news was the accident. That was where we lost about 26 lives, the two different accidents. So I would say it was a black Wednesday, it has been a black week, because even up to now, we don't know. Some are saying that death toll could increase because of the people who are seriously injured, most so in the link bus accident. But we keep praying for the families, that may the good Lord strengthen them. Those that are now nursing wounds in various hospitals, we still pray that the healer, God himself, may his hand stretch out to heal these people.
Oh, well, that's really, really, really sad to have started off a week on a good note, but ending it on such a bad note. And again, our hearts go out to all the families who did lose their people in the respective accidents, and may their souls rest in eternal peace. But yes, it's a Friday right here on Good Morning Uganda, where you are with us, and I want to assure you that it's going to be a show worth your time. So you don't have to go anywhere, because we have a lot of entertainment that is lined up for you. We'll be talking to a couple of interesting people who have interesting things to tell you. If you're a fan of creatives, if you're a fan of animations, well, we'll be hosting somebody to come through to give you. And I know my sister here, Mollen, loves animations like myself. So we will be bringing in a gentleman called Robin Malinga. Who is he? What does he do? What has he got to do with the film industry, with animations? Well, that is more reason for you to stay here with us to be able to catch up on all these details. But again, if you love yourself some good awards, especially when it comes to gospel music, well, I have something very, very interesting to tell you. We'll be having all these people. As you know, this weekend we'll be having gospel awards. Which gospel awards are we talking about? Who are we celebrating? Why are we celebrating them? Well, more reason for you to be here with us on Good Morning Uganda. But again, we'll also be taking you through the papers to see what's happening, what made it to the headlines, and still we'll be giving you more of the weather and climate news from Mollen, and some sports updates will also be coming through. And again, all this alongside amazing, great entertainment. And well, what's more reason for you not to be with us this morning? And still, when it comes to the informing beat, yes, we also have to take you through some of the stories that made it to our news desk yesterday. A lot has been happening, news flowing in and flowing out, both on the local scene and also on the international scene. Maybe right about now, we have to echo in on some of the stories that made it to the news desk.
And we'll begin with His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni assuring the people of Karamoja that cattle wrestlers will soon give up this because he will make it not attractive for them. The president was passing out over 2,000, that is LDU officials, that are going to ensure peace in this region. While President Yoweri Museveni vowed to make, that is, cattle rustlers in Karamoja lose appetite for the gun by building and equipping a stronger guard force at Labo Wadogo in Agago district. Speaking yesterday, shortly after the pass out of 2,610 local defense personnel intake of 2021-2022 who completed and have been undergoing training at Lab Wadong Training School in Agago district. The president said that cattle rustling that has re-emerged in this region will stop soon. President Museveni, who is also the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, had earlier, despite a heavy downpour, witnessed field craft and shooting range demonstrations by the new recruits before inspecting a guard of honor and a march past by the new recruits. The president said that with the big number of trainers in the school, now it's cause for the need for guard force. The president commended the army leadership for putting the training school in the area and pledged to support the facility in construction of new classrooms, instructors' houses, and improving the shooting range. According to La Bowadogo Training School Commandant, Lieutenant Colonel George Stephen Ewuku, the 2,657 trainees included 5,016 females who were voluntarily mobilized by the National Recruitment Team of UPDF in October 2021 for 24 weeks, and 47 trainers failed to complete the training course.
Prime Minister Robin Malinga has implored Parliament to support the Ministry of Health's quest to acquire an air ambulance for timely and effective evacuation of accident victims to the required medical facilities. Prime Minister Robin Malinga was responding to Chenjojo Woman MP Faith Kunihira's query as to why there has not been a national response to the victims of the Wednesday Fort Portal Chenjojo Road accident. According to MP Kunihira, the Kamwenje Hospital is overwhelmed by the number of victims of the accident, considering that tens of lives were lost and dozens others also injured. Now, the Prime Minister noted that this is an oversight for the whole country to continuously rely on the UPDF chopper to render emergency services, adding to the line of the ministry should be adequately funded to secure an air ambulance as soon as possible. Malinga also pledged to influence government to support the accident victims.
And we now look at the plight of refugees in Uganda, where development partners have been called upon to support Uganda in establishing decent housing for refugees to ensure their improved standards of living. Prime Minister Robin Malinga said this will reduce use of otherwise would-be farmland on small refugee huts. She was speaking during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Office of the Prime Minister and For Life Solutions, a company from Denmark. The MOU is meant to promote solar-powered water purification for refugee communities in Uganda.
Well, away from that, issues of labor migration, especially to the Middle East, continue to raise eyebrows of many stakeholders questioning the increasing torture and harassment allegations by the Ugandan girls. Now, the General Secretary of the Uganda Hotels, Food, Tourism, Supermarkets and Allied Workers Union, Moses Mauku, says that the most affected are the domestic workers, adding that authorities in Uganda need to engage the host countries to obey the protocol reached for this agreement. Mauku was officiating at the orientation training for the shop stewards and union leaders from the new union members of the Carrefour supermarket in Kampala.
Well, away from that and moving on to the international scene, still looking at Mariupol fighting, where more evacuations from besieged city, according to what is being reported by the UN. A third operation to pull civilians from Mariupol is due on Friday, according to the UN, as more fighting was reported for control over steelworks where the last Ukrainian defenders are holding out. About 200 civilians are also believed to be hiding in bunkers in the plant. UN Chief Antonio Guterres said everything should be done to get people out of these hellscapes. Now, Russia's Vladimir Putin said his forces are ready to give civilians safe passage, but fighters must surrender. The Russian president has already declared victory in Mariupol, ordering his forces to seal off the sprawling industrial site which was designed during the Cold War to serve as a nuclear bunker and has a network of tunnels deep below ground rather than try to take control of it. However, the remaining Ukrainian forces inside the steelworks, fighters from the Azov regiment, submarines, border guards and police say Russian attacks are continuing. Now, the Azov regiment released drone footage showing explosions at the steelworks, but the date of the footage could not be verified. Early on Thursday, Shyatoslav Palomar, an Azov regiment commander, said Ukrainian defenders were fighting difficult, bloody battles with Russian troops who had managed to enter part of the complex. But the Kremlin denied its forces had tried to storm the plant and insisted that a humanitarian corridor was open as part of a 3-day ceasefire that started on Thursday. And the World Health Organization puts global COVID-19 death toll at nearly 15 million. Nearly 3 times as many people have died as a result of COVID-19 as official data indicates, according to a new World Health Organization report that offers the most comprehensive look yet at the true global toll of the pandemic. There are 14.9 million excess deaths associated with COVID-19 by the end of 2021, the UN body said on Thursday.
Like America, for them at least they have had facilities where they do take care of teenage pregnant girls, because you find that these are the biggest number of, they get pregnant while they're still in schools, and it's a problem. And most of that is actually, a kind of a program that gives them a way to go for adoption. They give out their kids. But now right here in Uganda, if a child were to give birth at 14, there is no way you're going to give out a child for adoption. We don't have that system outlined out there. So which is why I think also the United States is saying, maybe this should be abolished, because parents have now gotten news. Should they have a teenager getting pregnant, they're looking forward to either abortion or giving out the child for adoption. And, at such a level that it's a developed country, maybe they can afford that. But again, the spiritual part of it is what is forcing some activists to now say, no, this cannot be allowed anymore.
And I mean, look at what happened during COVID-19, the lockdown. We had an immense number of young girls get pregnant. But right now, I will tell you that the story is not going so well for many of them, because they have no one to bail them out. So it's a little bit tricky, Even when it comes to you as a person, as an individual, you have a bit of conscience and you feel guilty. Like, if I actually abort this child, what's going to happen to me? This is on me. This is on me. So it has a lot of impacts, Robert, I will tell you for sure. But
see,
where would you stand when it comes to this?
First, I'm now more confused than I was in the beginning, because my sisters, none of them came out clearly to express a real view. They decided to be journalists and give a balanced story.
You're somewhere in between.
I wanted to get your individual views, but you decided
pros and cons. You look at it and try to put it.
But I was very clear. What is your opinion?
Well, where do you stand, Robert?
I'm an advocate of children by choice, not by chance. Yes. I also leave it at that.
But you're also not spelling out clearly.
So you're not.
But you guys, when you're discussing such an issue, there are a lot to it. Because guess what? That people get pregnant through rape. This person clearly doesn't want this
exceptional. But now, when I look at the people protesting in the US, it's my body, take off your policies. I understood these are mostly people who have not been raped, but find themselves, there is something, some young girls of these days want to call, there is a refugee, something cropping there, and they feel they should discard it and continue with their lifestyle, enjoying life. And now I think justice is saying, no, it's enough. We can't continue. You go, you live a funny life, and then all you go is do safe abortion. It is time you conceive, become a mother. There are many ways of prevent pregnancy, But the moment that fetus develops, then be ready to be a mother.
If this were to be in Uganda right now, and that is where the context were taking place, I don't know how a parliament would be reacting to that. And hopefully it doesn't have to come up to that side.
Mollen, our parliament, there are some debates. Do you remember it was, I think, last year, when we had this, there was a law that was coming in parliament that was calling for marital rape. You remember that?
Yeah.
All this. I looked at our members of parliament that they were discussing. They were so emotional. It became male versus female. Very interesting debate. So if this came to Parliament, I agree. I believe some would even storm out of the House.
But again, just because some of these topics are really complex, still they need to be talked about, because it's within the complexities that we get a blurred line, or you find yourself in the gray zone, but eventually we have to sort them out whether we like it or not. Well, good morning, Uganda. Friday special is still going on. We're going in for a break. When we get back, of course, we'll be having an interview with a gentleman called Robin Malinga from Creatures, Uganda. Well, I won't tell you more about this. Probably he will do more of that. And I'm pretty sure you will love what he has to say to you. And of course, amazing, amazing things are still in queue for you here on Good Morning Uganda Friday special this morning. We'll be back. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Most people never notice that all them want and need.
This special day, a legend comes on your national TV. When you think of legends, you can't figure out DJ Dan Starboy, the reggae and dancehall ambassador.
Pound the yard, pound the yard. I love you, woman, I love you. Yeah, you have your own style. I got to love you, you know me love you. Yeah.
Get certified of 99 greatest hits on UBC TV every Friday, 11 p.m.
Rasta no mean to fight, Rasta mean to love the people. Rasta no mean to fight every time. One love you. Licky, licky, lava, lava, so, so, so. Licky, licky, oh yeah, oh yes. Then just a rock and come and just a skank in the dance. Everyone. Then just a rock and come and just a rock and come and just a rock and come and come. One love.
Was brought to you by.
Need to send money to a loved one but you don't have enough on your phone? Get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial *165*5*3# to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
When you talk about our motherland Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, you cannot fail to smile because of the smile that fills the faces of the citizens. Our nice good weather and nature that sustains us all, that enables us all to continue each in their own way, because we are all different even according to each individual's work. But what joins us to become one person is the sweetness from the flavored drink Alleluia Jingati drink and Alleluia Tamarind drink. The flavor that quenches your thirst while at the same time treating and healing your body because it is 100% natural. Enjoy the drink that has got the tamarind juice in it. Made by Alleluia Reflexology, Healthy Solutions and Nutritional Research Center Limited. Get yourself a bottle of Alleluia from all shops around.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
buli munya-uganda nayitinga amakuru marungi. UBC West erina amakuru marungi kandi agali kwesigwa. Leero za porogaramu zaayo ziri omu Lunyakitara hamwe n'Olufumbira. UBC West eine tekinologiya ey'omulembe eri kugibaasa kuhika omu bicweka byona omu ihanga nangu n'aheeru y'eihanga. Tukwatire aha frequencies ezi: Kisoro 97.7 Fama, Kabale 93.7 Fama, Hoima 99.1 Fama, Kampala 105.7 Fama, Mbarara 97.4 Fama, Futpoto 98.8 Fama, Masindi 5 Fama. Kurikiriza UBC West ohurire embaganiza. UBC West empika huna.
Every marriage has 100% chances of succeeding. You know why? Because God created marriage, and God never creates failure, and God never designs anything to fail. Every marriage has 100% chances of succeeding. Is your marriage struggling and you're wondering whether it will ever succeed, whether you will ever make it, whether it's even worth holding on to? You got to tune into Unlocking Marital Bliss, because right here we provide the keys to unlock the bliss in your marriage, and you will be able to succeed. We've had testimonies, and lives are changing day by day.
Marriage must be a discipline. It must not be handled like a casual thing.
As women, when we have the outward expression, even our form of respect is tied to the outward things that you do.
Some women now have working class. They don't know how to handle their husbands because the marriage has become like question and answer marriage. Do you have any tea? Don't you have hands to prepare it? Why have you come back late? Did I take your blanket? It's question and answer marriage.
Not any other place, but every Sunday, 3 p.m., right here at UBC. With the one and only Cyrus Rod, not any other.
Unlocking Marital Bliss. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
4 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. right here in Good Morning Uganda Friday special edition. Thank you for joining us once again. And like I did promise you at the start of the show, well, I told you it's all about informing you and also entertaining you. And today being a Friday, of course, we're losing up a bit because, well, I mean, why not? The weekend is somewhere in the corner, so we have to be ready for it mentally, physically, emotionally. But again, we have to go in it when we are well equipped. Well, I promised we had somebody special coming in, and well, the very special person is right here. Quite interesting things he's going to be sharing with us, especially if you're a fan who is so much into the arts and the arts industry here in Uganda. Well, I'm pretty sure you will love what he has to say. Well, in studio with me, I am joined by Robin Malinga. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Glad to be known as special guest.
Well, I have been hyping you up, so you need to know that. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Well, just to start it off, first things first, who is Robin?
Oh, Robin is a storyteller. That is how I define myself.
Yes.
In many forms, I tell story in terms of writing, in terms of verbally, I'll tell you a story.
Yes.
In terms of music, I'm a storyteller as well. So I'm a storyteller, but I'm the COO of Creatures Animation Studio, which is a 3D animation studio based here in Kampala.
Yes.
We have done a short film called Kalabanda Eat My Homework. If you've not seen it, it's somewhere on YouTube.
I have watched it.
Yeah. So yeah, we've done that. We've made a lot of noise here and there around the world with our film and our awards and our work. Yeah, but that's who I am. That's what I do.
I will tell you one thing I picked from there. Animations. I love animations. Very many adults, very many people in my age group love animations, and there is no shame in that, by the way, absolutely none, because it's all about entertainment and fun, and keeps us going. Well, Robin, today we are going to talk about quite a topic that I believe just cuts across the youth in general, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to innovation, when it comes to youth empowerment. Now, we know that Uganda's population, the biggest percentage of the population, is characterized by the youth. And definitely we need to keep ourselves busy, we need to keep ourselves engaged, we need somehow to be part of the country's economy, and all this comes with empowerment. So in your view, if I was to actually find out what you think, how do you think we are standing when it comes to youth empowerment right here in Uganda?
I think that there's really a bunch of people here and there who are trying to make way.
Yes.
The youth in the country are really trying to push through. You see very many innovations everywhere you go, in arts, in science, in tech, in education.
Absolutely.
People are trying to do things everywhere amongst the young people, and I think that Uganda is one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world.
Yes.
And there's a very big reason for that. I think our population has a bunch of people who are very heavily minded on trying to make their way through and survive. We have many farmers, we have many artists, and for me, who comes from an industry of arts, I'm constantly seeing the young people who come in, because once I was the person who came out of school and was the youngest one around in the industry, but now seeing it happening again and again every year is actually quite impressive. Like, we have a vast array of talent that's just exploding. It's like the world is about to be blown a bit by what Uganda has to offer, and it's starting to show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really interesting. Now, talking about innovations, you did say you're the COO of Creatures. Now, Creatures, I know it's an innovative firm. It's a creative firm. It's full of people with talent, and seeing that you're already in the market, well, just to talk about some of the creatives of the innovations here. I know Ugandans, very many people have decided to take the route of creating jobs for themselves as opposed to waiting to be employed, because clearly that is the route we should take. You can't sit all around, especially after school. Now, you after school, I would love to know, did you get into it straight, or did you actually have to wait a little bit, hold on? And I would really love to know the journey of how you came up with this.
So, in order to tell that story, I have to go back just a little bit.
Well,
because the journey goes very much. My journey is very much intertwined with my brother Raymond, who is the CEO of Creatures Animation, and we co-founded the company together. So I will say that Raymond studied film and animation in Malaysia.
Yes.
While I was in Uganda, I was studying at MUBS.
Yes.
I was studying business. Which very much is one of my roles in the company, is that I'm running the business operations. So when he returned in 2015, we started the company, but I was still in school.
Yes.
I was still in campus. I was, I think, in second year, probably. So, but then the plan had always been to do this, because we made this plan to start this animation studio way before, like maybe 4 or 5 years, like before he went to study.
So you already had it in plan even before?
Yeah, like from the very start, going to the office and working at the desk was never in my books.
Yes.
I had done internships before, and I really didn't like it. I won't mention the organizations I was at, but then, it's not that the organizations are bad. It's just that it didn't suit me. And it was, and I was really good at what I was doing. My work, I work in as an intern, and I complete work before all the other interns. But I wasn't understanding why I had to sit there from 8 to 5 when I've completed my tasks, because the rules say I must be there till 5. So I used to always challenge my supervisors, why am I here? Do you have any more work for me? because if you have more work for me, I'm willing to do it.
Yes,
but then
really
they're like,
available.
no, just sit down and use the internet till 5. And I'm like, I can't. And I got into trouble a couple of times because I had to escape.
Yes.
I was like, I'm wasting time here. I could be doing something else. So I'd go back home and think about creatures animation or something of the sort.
Yes.
And you know, it wasn't my cup of tea. For some people it is, but for us it's just really like, even with our studio, we're not very fixed on how you must be here, do this. It's task oriented.
Yes.
Complete your task. You know, it's a free area. People can share
Very,
their
very
ideas.
flexible, you can
yeah. So I felt like sitting at the desk may be what I'm doing now, but it doesn't feel like it because I'm doing what I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now for a person who is actually willing to join an industry like this, say, you know, I mean, you don't have a specific, you know, like from 8 a.m. all the way till 5 p.m. You're joining the arts industry. You have to be you have to be very creative, I could say. You have to be very, you know, chap. I mean, what are some of the things that you would ideally put out for them to put into consideration, seeing that you're already in the industry as well?
Put out for...
maybe just to put it like this, some of the tips maybe, yeah, for somebody who wants to join this route of, you know, take this road as opposed to waiting for jobs, being a creative, being self-employed. Yes.
I think number one is to just start. It's very important to start because many times we have our ideas in our minds, but we never really execute them. And there's a quote that I really saw recently and I loved that said, it's a shame for a man to leave this earth without fulfilling his full potential, which is exactly what you need to do. You need to be able to go out there and do what you wanted to do. It's very risky. You have to have a lot of passion. You have to be patient that these things will not be 100%. Maybe if you're lucky.
Yes.
It is a challenge. People may not believe in you at the start, but that's okay. That's what the journey looks like, you know. People never believed in us.
Yes.
You know, when it's the strangest thing to tell your parents that you want to make cartoons.
Yes.
You know,
it's very hard to convince a Ugandan parent.
A Ugandan parent, an African parent, I would believe. It's not the easiest thing for a parent here, and I would imagine that there are many other styles of things. I want to become a musician, I want to become this, and you know, it's hard to see the path. But it does exist. Some people have done it, and I want to be like living proof and at our studio that it actually is possible, like charms or something. Besides actually going for it and having and gathering really talented people and sharing great ideas and moving forward. I feel like if you really push your passion and go after it, the rewards show, especially if you like put in your spirit. Because people can resonate with that. If you make a painting and you put your heart and soul into it, I can feel it from wherever I am.
Yes.
Even though I don't understand what it is. When you're singing from your soul, those lyrics that you wrote, I can, like, it resonates to the audience.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes.
It's like a sixth sense. And so that special thing is what you have to be able to put into your work. And you have to take it as seriously as possible, because a lot of people try to consider their passions as the side thing, which is fine, because you have to survive. That's true.
Yes.
But while you're doing the side thing, be sure to put in, even if it's what you want to pursue 100%, you have to be able to put in more than 100% than what you're doing in your daily.
All right, now if we are to zero down, on the animation industry, now you have been in how long have you been in this industry for again?
This is now 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Now 6 years, we have seen the animation industry come up. We've had several other people who came through with some of the animations, even before we actually got to know about you. And definitely this is a very interesting, I want to believe it's an interesting road to take, because if we are going to put it in comparison to the international, I mean, we know that when it comes to animation and on the international scene, we're doing quite so well. But if you who has been there in the 6 years, how would you, do you see any progress when it comes to Uganda here, especially in the animation industry? Do you think we have moved somewhere, and how far have we moved?
Yeah, I would say that we have moved, not even only in Uganda, but as the world, for black people especially. I'll start by saying that when we started working and we were trying to make our film, Akalabanda Ate My Homework, we realized that there was no 3D like long form or short form content of black people, period, across the world. It's completely different right now. There was nothing on Netflix, there was nothing anywhere. So we realized that we were doing something that was an anomaly. Yes, the only character that we could find was Frozen from Incredibles. You know, that was the only black 3D animated character we could find. Maybe there may be others, but it was not to our knowledge. In Uganda, initially we found there were people in the industry. Yes, that's true, but people were making clips here and there in animation. You know, they were trending, which was nice to see. It's good to see. That's how the industry, very much so, we're still in our infancy. I will not say that we've moved like into some where we're able to compete on the levels of the West, but we have made significant progress. There are more animators coming out. I'll say things like, initially we're finding the number of women in animation was very few. Now you see it and you're like, okay, now we can say there. It's not even something you have to talk about. They're just there. That's much progress. In terms of the content that's coming out, the teams that have been formed, the studios, because of the people we have seen, we know them in the industry and we know that there's a lot of hope.
Well, you did talk about Kalabanda. This really went viral. I mean, it had people talking. It had people talking, and it even won some awards. But aside from that, actually, what would you say are some of the achievements that came out of this, at least for you as Robin, or as for you as Creatures Uganda? Yeah, I mean, it did make us get some kind of international presence, because we screened at the Cannes Film Festival, which is one of the biggest festivals in the world. And Raymond and I actually got to go to Cannes, which was an incredible experience because we were able to make connections with big people in the film industry, connections that we may have started using or will use in the future. At least you brush shoulders with some of the people, you know. We were able to start making friends with the different animation studios across in Nigeria and South Africa. So it really opened up our film just by creating 6 minutes of original content was able to push our studio. We were able to get clients for our studio in terms of animation, in terms of ads and explainer videos. Like, it was like a big marketing tool. And which is kind of funny because the original intention of the film was not to win awards and do all this stuff. It was actually to build a team, the Creatures team, because initially when we started, it was just me and Raymond, and we have this idea of there's a Kalabanda who eats homework of children. That's all you have. Did you actually ever see this specific Kalabanda winning awards? Did you actually think it was going to go that big? No, not at all. It was not even a thought that we had in mind. You know, I don't know, there was a point when the film came out, we just said, let's apply to film festivals, because, you know, I think the Uganda Film Festival is coming around, although we didn't get nominated. I don't know why, but that's fine. That's fine the first time around, but like eventually we did. Yes. But like we started like that. We did Uganda Film Festival. Then because of the disappointment of it, we just decided to apply everywhere online. And some places, like, that's when we started realizing that what we had was actually really something special. We thought it would be special internationally, because it's one of the reasons that we had the film in English, because we wanted it to be understood and go as far as possible. Yes. That obviously is, but then we had like words, there's some small words from our language that we'll translate, you know, just poking in there so that people can start to feel, you know, an American can say imbu. You know, that's what we started to do in our film. But we didn't expect it to have the reaction it did. Yes. It was quite overwhelming, and we were quite pleased. You didn't see it coming. Yeah. So you could actually say that all your video, or rather all your movies, or whatever your work is based upon, you look at basically local content, right? Very much so. The way we describe it is that we take our local stories and make them appealing universally. So the idea is that the Ugandan content that we make should be able to be watched by someone in South Korea, by someone in India, you know, someone anywhere over the world. But then because you see what has been happening with the West, we all know they have been able to push into us. We know that the Japanese with anime
have been able to go across the world.
Absolutely.
So why not us? Why not Uganda?
We should push ourselves into their
we shouldn't be assuming it will be the South Africans or the Nigerians who will save us. No, the Ugandans. We started by saying how many young entrepreneurs we have, and that is what we are going to do. We're going to push through as Ugandans.
Wow. Yeah. Now, of course, like any other industry, I believe there are certain challenges that you come across, and probably some of them you're ready and you even have a way to navigate around them. Others, well, you just learn as you go on. So what are some of the challenges that you have come across?
Yeah, challenges.
Crazy challenges.
You know, some of them are starting a company is not the easiest thing. You know, it sounds like, you know, most companies die in their first year. But like in terms of challenges that we faced as an animation studio, for starters, when we were starting out, it was lack of skilled labor.
True.
Finding people who are educated and trained in animation was kind of hard at the start, I will say. Right now there are way more people. So we had to go to a few institutions here and there where they were training animators. But still, even when we brought them on, they still had to go through a slight training process just to up the skills so that our quality of animation could be higher. Another challenge that we have found is access to computers and equipment, importing things into this country, because we need very powerful machines to do animation. But you know, when you're importing, the taxes, you know, it's one of those things of like, you feel bad because you have to buy the computer from America.
Yes.
And if the computer is like, let me say 1 million shillings, I won't go on random figures, but if a computer is 1 million shillings, by the time it reaches here, it's almost twice the price. And I feel like, how am I supposed to compete with the American who bought it at the original price?
Yes.
So it's really hard. That has been a very big challenge to us, because you know, it's very labor intensive, computer intensive. You know, we have to have that equipment.
Yes.
Those are some of the challenges that we have had, amongst others, but there are a bunch of small ones here and there.
Yes.
If we can have a whole book on challenges. We would laugh the whole night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, now, speaking of that, would you, because I know this journey definitely, apart from you and Raymond, there are other people. Would you say there are other people who have supported you, especially when it comes from, you know, because, for example, we did talk about the Uganda Film Festival. Do you think it has given you mileage? Are there other, you know, festivals or companies or any other that has given you mileage to push you to where you are right now? Of course, I do appreciate that you put in the hard work, because you and Raymond are at the bottom of this, you're in the middle, you're at the top, but would you say there are other things that have given you more mileage?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that there are a number. I'll speak about, I won't go into the specifics of the people.
Yes.
But very many people have been able to help us on the journey. The first people I will mention is our parents. Very much grateful to our parents, Raymond and I, because they were able, my parents were not, they're not the people who by default would say, yeah, you go make cartoons. like you'd expect, you know, because most people, when they see that we went on this journey, they're like, those guys must have some bougie parents or something like that. No.
You have to sit them down and give them the concept and help them understand where you're coming from.
They were very understanding and very hopeful. You know, my father and mother were very gracious enough to let us start in their garage at home, and that was where our studio started. They gave us a little bit of money for like a few 100,000 shillings to buy some things here and there, which we're very grateful for, because it was really helpful at the time.
Yes.
And whatever connections they had, they tried to help us get people. In terms of people in the industry, like so many people have reached out, especially after our film came out. People come and they tell you where to go, who to meet.
Yes.
You know, those kind of things. There've been really a bunch of people who have been really helpful to us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very
it's been an incredible journey. Like, I feel like if you're supposed to go in a particular direction, the forces of the universe or God, they come to push you in that direction, and that's what it very much feels like.
And I strongly believe that you meet the people in that somehow the road you choose to take or the direction you choose to take helps you meet the right people.
Yeah.
So I am a strong believer in the universe and its powers. Well, is there something in the pipeline that you should be looking out for?
Well,
You know, Ugandans, we are insatiable. When we see one thing, we want to see another, we want to see another.
Yeah.
Yes, just in human nature, that's how we are.
Yeah, very, very much so. We do have, actually, we have a couple of projects in the pipeline. Things are in the works. Animation takes a while to be done.
Yes.
But we do have things in the works. It's not going to be something that I'm going to say like this is what it's called and we're announcing it today.
Yes.
No, but we have TV shows in the works, and very much a little bit down the line we have a feature-length animated film that we're working on. We're just partnering with some people to get these projects out, and that's what has made us take a bit of a while since Kalabanda ate my homework. Probably some people are wondering why are they taking so long, you know. But you know, it's about, you know, you have to be smart because this is also a business, and that's something you have to understand, because we have to be able to make money from our content. And Kalabanda ate my homework, despite it going out into the festivals and all these things and all that, it was released on YouTube initially. So we made money from it by proxy, not directly. It's not like we're selling CDs of a 6-minute animated film. No, we were getting money from other ways. It gave us our studio and our lifelines. But there's more work. There's more work coming. Let me just say there's more work coming, and it's very cool stuff. I'm excited for it. Everyone at the studio is excited, and one moment you're going to see it coming.
Now, one thing about this Kalabanda movie, I will tell you, the one thing that really amazed people, me inclusive, was the cast. We had Mastiko on, we had Salvador. The question is, how were you able to convince those people to come through, and moreover, for free rides?
Yeah. This is what I'm saying about just do it.
Yes.
Now, we were nobodies. I mean, look at me, as we were just people out there, and our studio had just started, and we didn't have much to do. So Martha was an acquaintance of mine, a friend of mine that I had known from before, and we actually met her before she had become the Range Rover girl.
Yes.
So we cast her before that. It just so happened that happened, and we're like, oh, now we have a lead who is a star. Well,
we're
great
good.
for us. So that's the universe again, because that was just luck. Then Salvador, I got his contact, and he didn't know me, but I got his contact and just called him. I can never forget that he was driving, and he told me, hello, who is this? What? Animation? Okay, I'm driving, I'll call you back. And he did call back. And somehow he agreed to meet us. And when he read the script, he was like, I'm doing this thing.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. And Salvador brought on Omara. He really suggested that Omara would work well for Mr. Okech, the teacher.
Yes.
And you know, and suddenly you're building a cast. And Faith Kisa, who was the voice of Mia, was Raymond's fiance.
Yes.
So she was also in the works. You know, like we got a cast, and you're like, well, you know, people ask us, you know, you got stars, you had connections.
The cast was really spectacular, because when you look through and you're seeing these names, and then you look at you, like you said, well, this is Robin. Okay, it's Robin, but I mean, how was he able to you know, access these people and try to persuade them into doing what they did?
I didn't use any special words. Raymond didn't use any special words.
Yes.
To be honest, it was just guys with a dream, and we're like, guys, there's this thing about a Kalabanda eating homework, and that is what we're going to do. And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
And you're like, seriously? Yes. And you know, asking people like Salvador to come to the studio. He's busy though. I remember he was doing like comedy shows. He was preparing for, I think, Africa Laps or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, he's coming and he's making time. We're not paying him. And you're asking him to say things like mihelele. It sounds, it's so crazy, you know. But then they did an amazing job. I was just eternally grateful to them for what they did, and we shall sing their praises from the rooftops till the end of time.
Okay.
You know, I will definitely work with all of them already. Actually, things are kind of in the works. Those are secrets, but yeah.
Well, as we're coming to the conclusion of this, now I know one of the greatest partnerships that came out of all this, or one of the greatest achievements, was a deal that you had with Disney.
Yeah.
Now I know you can't talk a lot about
Yeah.
it, yes, but I mean, what should we be looking out for? How did the Ugandan make such a great move? We celebrate.
Yeah.
We celebrate you people. We have Ugandans representing us at Disney, so I mean, it's more reason for us to be very happy.
For sure. It's amazing that we're able to get something like that come on board. Raymond is directing a film for Disney Plus.
Wow.
It's called Chizazimoto, and it's going to be on Disney Plus. I'm not sure exactly when. That's up to them. It's either at the end of this year or early next year, something of the sort. But it's an anthology with about 10 different African filmmakers from different African countries, and Raymond, who is our CEO, was selected as one of them, and we're really glad we got an opportunity for members on our team to work on it, and we have been having discussions with the Disney team. It's great to be working on a project with people from the Hollywood studios. It's like, we have a foot in there as well.
Yes.
Which is nice, because now what's going to happen is that this opens the door for many more Ugandans.
Yes.
When we do well. I was going to say
I
if.
believe in us.
I was going
want
to say
to
if,
strongly
but
believe in us.
But the film looks amazing. Raymond is doing a fantastic job directing it, and the story is great. I'm just excited for people to see what it is. I think that they'll be very proud of what comes out. And it will open many, many more doors. It's only Disney, but now it's only Disney for now, but who knows how many more studios will come. We're seeing the Netflix coming here and there, so it's going to be Ugandan based. Yeah, let's do it. It's going to be
I really
great.
love the fact that Ugandans, we've actually decided to put our foot in there, and then somehow we have representatives via Netflix. Look at us. We're moving towards Disney Plus, so we're doing well. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. I really have hope. So as we try to wrap up this, what would be some of your concluding remarks, Robin?
My concluding remarks would be, there is a lot of talent out there, but talent is not all that it takes. You really have to be willing to work.
Yeah.
You have to have the spirit to go forth. You have to have a business mind in some sense.
Yes.
It's true. You have to make money from this and live, because doing it for free is not sustainable. And I think that it's important for everybody to just be able to go out there. We can do it as Uganda.
Sure.
It's not. Why not us?
Yes.
That's what I would say. Why not us? Why must it be another country? Let it be Ugandans. We are trying it. You can. Everybody else can. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Robin, thank you so much for stopping by and
too.
for, waking up as early as you did. I know from the conversations we're having earlier on, it is not your cup of tea, but you did.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there you go with Robin Malinga, the COO of Creatures Uganda, and who was here talking us and taking us through creativity and innovation in art industry. Well, we all have something to pick from this, and the fact that he's putting him and the brother putting Uganda on the radar somewhere. I mean, it's great. It's great for us as a country. Well, good morning, Uganda. Friday special still goes on. We still have a lot coming in from the entertainment segment, where we have Mollen who will be coming in to tell you what you should be looking out for during this weekend, and we'll be taking you to the papers much later on to see what made the headlines. Of course, that is the Monitor and New Vision, plus the Daily Nation, and of course more entertainment will be coming through right here on Good Morning Uganda. We'll be back shortly.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
When you talk about our motherland Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, you cannot fail to smile because of the smile that fills the faces of the citizens. Our nice good weather and nature that sustains us all, that enables us all to continue each in their own way because we are all different even according to each individual's work. But what joins us to become one person is the sweetness from the flavored drink Alleluia Jingati drink and Alleluia Tamarind drink. The flavor that quenches your thirst while at the same time treating and healing your body because it is 100% natural. Enjoy the drink that has got the tamarind juice in it. Made by Alleluia Reflexology, Healthy Solutions and Nutritional Research Center Limited. Get yourself a bottle of Alleluia from all shops around.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Gold TV. Love it.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, in the press review this morning, taking you through the Daily Monitor first. The big headline over there being government grounds 90 link buses. And of course, the decision comes 3 days after, the decision rather comes 3 days to reopening of schools, which will definitely affect Kampala City, Kasese, Masindi, to mention but a few of these districts. And again, not tired, we have 8 police directors seeking new contracts. And among us those, we have Asan Kasinje, the chief political Kirabo, Commissar Andrew Sorwen, and a whole list of other police officers. Well, we are yet to see how that turns out for them. And in the big picture there, we look at university students who are arrested over protest, and that is of course a high cost of living. And the big picture shows the policemen and the students quite in a scuffle. So you need to grab yourself this Friday paper. And of course, thousands and thousands of jobs in there, so you could grab yourself an opportunity. And there is a scoop pull out today being Friday. And of course, entertainment is locked in here, where we're having reintroducing Rena and a band. Well, make sure you get yourself the paper this morning. And looking at page 3, where we have government to test modified mosquitoes in Entebbe. Well, this should be very interesting, so why not get the paper? And taking a look at the second page of the paper or the Daily Monitor this morning, where we have quite from the archives, and that is a policeman security during the 10-day siege of the premises of the Monitor Publications Limited, Namongo in Kampala. This was back in 2013. And still in more news, government warns schools against hiking school fees. And they've been advised to suspend costly projects so that, parents don't get to bear the extra costs on all these. And again, day of grievers, 28 killed in accident. And many Ugandans, of course, were set into quite a somber mood. And taking you back in time, today in history, King Chua wrote protest letter to Governor Corindon, and still American forces in the Philippines surrender unconditionally. All that in the Daily Monitor this Friday morning.
Well, heading over to the New Vision, they also give you that story on the fate of the 11 police bosses, which lies in Museveni's hands. Now, they give you names of those affected. Among them, the AIGP Kasinje, Ochiom, Sorowen, Byakagaba. They're all affected, but there is more to that story on page 4 of the New Vision for this morning. Now, they also give you the best performing midwives that have been named. Now, among them is Kate Ann, who is an assistant nursing officer of Virginia Hospital. There are a lot of names out there. They have put across about 8 of them. They have been named, and that is as we're celebrating the Midwifery Day. Well, the New Vision today also gives you how to make money from bees. That is on page 22 of the New Vision for this morning. But also more, Museveni rejects the pay rise for parliamentary staff. Well, it is on page 8 of the New Vision for this morning. Now, Tanzania's Uhuru for a 2-day visit. That is the Tanzanian President Samia Uhuru will be jetting into the country for a 2-day state visit. Now, they're giving you more details of her arrival. That is on page 5 of the New Vision for this morning. MPs broke shillings 87 billions for a Myoga program. Well, that is also on page 6 of the New Vision for this morning. How rains have silenced guns in Karamoja. It seems like the onset of rains have now, forced these cattle raiders to move away, because now when the bushes have been cleared, then there is nowhere they can hide, and that is obviously paying off. Now, on page 2 of the New Vision, residents riot over potholes blocking Njeru Jinja Road. Now, that also caused a lot of polarization. There is more to that story on the page 2 of the New Vision for this morning. Now, top midwives receive certificates. They also give you pictures of the midwives receiving their certificates, and of course the winning midwives across each region. They're also giving you names, which hospitals. You can get yourself into that story on the page 2 of the New Vision for this morning. Well, also today in history, May 6th, 2009, NATO holds Georgia War Games. Russia critical. Well, it seems like Russia and NATO have been at it for quite some time, if you are dating back in history, but you can get more of that in the New Vision today. But also going on to page 3, they show you Prime Minister Nabanja as she urges officers to work hard and not be influenced by grants, as she was talking to police, UPDF and prisoners, senior officers. That was in Chankwanzi on Wednesday.
And moving on to the Daily Monitor Sports. This morning, no more waiting and months of preparations. A climax today with a qualifying stage in Namatava. And we look at the pictures about the preparations as they're going on. African Rally Championship leader Gomes Ford Fiesta R5. Well, doing the most over there. And still, of course, that is all in the PAL Rally show time. And again, looking at, of course, Shell V Power PAL of Africa Uganda Rally. And this is going to be the 24th edition, actually. So, I mean, it will be dating from 6th to 7th, which is today and tomorrow. So make sure you don't miss out on that. And the total distance to be covered is about 513 kilometers. Well, and also looking at the UEFA Champions League. Well, a pedigree Manchester City rue another European collapse as Real Madrid and ticket to Paris final after strange defeats on Wednesday. Well, but we'll be fine. We'll absolutely be okay. And taking it to the second page of the Daily Monitor Sports, still taking a look at the rugby cranes. They are up and for Marseille Africa Cup, and of course sights on France over there. And still looking at Gaita Leeds Professionals at Captain's Bell, and there is the leaderboard over there, so make sure you catch up on it. And looking at also Fiery West Nile Derby set, that is Onduparaka Captain Shaban, who has been a live wire at the back end of the season with his 15 goals, comfortably doing the most what he knows. Well, all that in the Daily Monitor this morning. So yes, go ahead and grab yourself a copy to catch up on all these stories and more.
Well, also the New Vision Sports also heads off with the PAL of Africa opportunity. Well, while this is kicking off today, there are more opportunities that are coming your way. Now, they're also giving you pictures of the vendors that are already on the road. They give you someone carrying energy drinks. There are people preparing katogo. There are people preparing, the Rolex. I mean, it's going to be business. There are a lot of opportunities that can be looked at as the PAL of Africa Uganda Larry kicks off. But also a lot of anticipation right there, and the New Vision gives you that it might be a fast and slippery PAL as we look at a mix of technical and fast stages. Well, this is one to look out for, and still for today that will also be shaking down in Namatava, Mukono, before heading to the 9 stages in the area of Lugazi and Mukono on Saturday and Sunday. Well, it's just going to be an action-packed weekend if you're going to enjoy the PAL of Africa Uganda Larry that is starting off and kicking off today. Well, also page 2 of the New Vision Sport shows you how the Venoms might be losing out, and that is Vipers in danger of losing their best player. They're talking about Caesar Manzorki from their title-winning champion after allowing his contract to come to the end. Now, how are they prepared to move from that? How the team is, looking into reorganizing? It's all in the New Vision Sport for this morning. But also they give you an exciting picture of OBB as the upstage Nemo Stars. Well, now the OBB won their first National Volleyball League title at the expense of the Nemo Stars, whom they defeated at Old Kampala. Well, but they're also jubilating with the title right there. They give you details of how they have been performing and, of course, what led to the win. That was the 3-1 win against the Nemo Stars. Well, the full story is also right there in the New Vision for today. And also Sekafa will be our build-up, who is saying that George Rutalo has all the faith in his squad of players. And that is as we look at the Junior Eagles of Soroti having emerged in the Under-13 Northeast Championship. Well, it seems like they're also eyeing for that Sekafa title, and they're ready for it. But there is more stories of sports in the New Vision Sport for this morning.
And crossing over to the Daily Nation in Kenya. Well, economic boom, but the question is who gained from the growth? And of course, very many questions are being put on the table. And still, they're giving you a breakdown of how prices of several commodities have shot up. And we know that in Kenya, according to the Daily Nation, it's been a very daunting task for very many Kenyans to put food on the table. And now the really high prices have gone way higher than the average. And there are very many questions again that are being put to task where responses are expected. And yes, they're showing you the price increments by what percentage of what food commodities that are being put in the questions. Well, grab yourself the Daily Nation this morning and see what is happening. And again, more to come in. It's Kenneth or Sabina, that is of course Uhuru's offer to Raila. Now we know that it is decision 2022 in Kenya, where we are yet to have the next president in less than 100 days, and the serious countdown is already happening in the country. And I will tell you that all other East African countries and all other countries in general are on the lookout and are watching to see what will be transpiring in Kenya. So yes, all that in the Daily Nation this morning, and again they're bringing you more statistics, especially in regards to unemployment. And according to a recently released report, well, the economy created about 926,000 new jobs. I could say good things for Kenya happening over there. But who will be benefiting from these jobs and who will not? That is why you should get yourself the Daily Nation at only 2,700 Ugandan shillings to catch up and see what's happening over there in Kenya. Well, clearly, Mollen, you can see that it's not only us struggling when it comes to food prices and commodity prices. Kenyans are also in the war with us, our neighbors over there. They're struggling with us, and I can really see how they have put some of their products, and their price increments have been to about 52.2% for some of them. Some we are having 0.2%, some of them we are having 12.5%. I don't know whether we should take comfort in that we're not alone, or maybe we should worry more.
We are not alone.
Yes.
Obviously, Kenya is also facing the same challenge, and this is cutting across actually a lot of East African countries are being affected. Now, the only difference and why we are left alone is the fact that earlier last week, and I think at the beginning, in the middle of April actually,
yes,
there was a suggestion from Parliament of Kenya, and they wanted a pay rise. And we just saw the president of Kenya saying, okay, there is rising prices, but I'm giving a 12% increment in salaries.
Yes.
That is where we get left alone. And they have got a pay rise.
Yes.
Strict from the president's mouth. And right there it happened. But for us, we're still dealing with that. But you see, Ugandans were resilient.
Yes.
And our president has been kind enough. He's giving us options. If you cannot afford bread, you know, have your cassava, have anything else. So
I will tell you, well, in retaliation to that, well, actually, in relation to that, Ugandans were also suggesting that we should have a minimum wage here. But I will tell you more than employees or employers actually in several of these companies were saying or were requesting to have a meeting before that is passed, because they're saying it doesn't work out for them as employers because, well, we have different and complicated working conditions, the taxes, and then they were bringing in all these other reasons. And I was saying, well, we are far from achieving that, but we'll be fine. Like you said, Molly,
get there.
We are resilient people. We know how to deal with this. We know how to maneuver around this. Well, good morning, Uganda. Friday special is still going on. Myself here with Mollen, and well, we still have a lot that is coming up. She is yet to give you more from the climate and weather segment, but also giving you more entertainment, which movies are showing, what books you should look out for, and probably we'll be looking into what should the plan be, or what should be your plot be this weekend, what should you go, what should you not. And of course, we'll also be getting into some more interviews with quite an amazing group of people, and later on we'll be giving you the sports updates, and of course, all this coupled with amazing entertainment. We'll be back right after this break.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals, out-of-this-world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
When you talk about our motherland Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, you cannot fail to smile because of the smile that fills the faces of the citizens. Our nice good weather and nature that sustains us all, that enables us all to continue each in their own way because we are all different even according to each individual's work. But what joins us to become one person is the sweetness from the flavored drink Alleluia Jingati drink and Alleluia Tamarind drink. The flavor that quenches your thirst while at the same time treating and healing your body because it is 100% natural. Enjoy the drink that has got the tamarind juice in it. Made by Alleluia Reflexology, Healthy Solutions and Nutritional Research Center Limited. Get yourself a bottle of Alleluia from all shops around.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves. High-flying saves. Unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Yes, well, good morning, Uganda. Friday special edition is still on and going, but right now we want to take a look into the weather situation, how it is looking like across the area, or even where you're headed. Well, at least as we end the Friday, it seems like as we crown the week, the weather seems to be looking a little bit more beautiful because we're starting off with mostly sunny skies. No need to deal with those rains, but that is also not everywhere. Now, according to our satellites that are tapping in from the real-time data for this morning, it seems that we are looking at mostly clear skies across northern Uganda, eastern Uganda as well. It seems like you still have that sun, and that will be continuing into your entire morning. We also seeing from the satellite, we have quite a sunny morning across western Uganda, also across the Chisoro Highlands, where we do have Kabale, Ntunga, Morukunjiri, that area already dealing with sunny conditions. Mbara as well, we're seeing sunny weather across Fort Portal, Mubende, Hoima, that is also crossing over to Mbale, Amuria, Moroto. Quite a sunny morning over there. Now, where we do have a little bit of clouds that are starting to develop is across the Choga region. That is where we're having mostly cloudy weather. Now, West Nile seems to also be having quite cloudy situations, but earlier in the morning, Arua, actually parts of Arua across Yumbe and the much lower side of West Nile was dealing with a little bit of rains. Now, that system seems to be moving away and could be clearing for sunny intervals, but those rains are still at least a little bit around the area that is for West Nile. Now, also, when we look at Lake Victoria for this morning, that has also been quite a roller coaster over there because you do see most of the weather systems that do develop in the mornings, especially bringing in a little bit of rains. And this week we have been dealing with a lot of that. Well, this morning it seems like that system is actually moving southwards. It did start off earlier with parts of Kampala actually getting a little bit of drizzles, but those cleared off quite easily. Also for parts of Entebbe as well. Now, so it looks like that system is still there and could be bringing us rains, especially towards the western side of Lake Victoria, areas of Masaka, Rengo, Zimbabwe. You can expect to have those rains for your morning this Friday. But most of these systems will be developing later in the afternoon, but that is also most especially across the southern sector. We'll go ahead and take a look at a few of some parts across the country in the forecast, and that is from the Uganda National Meteorological Authority, and also check up on those temperatures. Now, it looks like much of this week has been dominated with cold temperatures, but we're starting to warm up, at least for parts of northern Uganda, eastern Uganda. Temperatures are starting to look a little bit warmer for the area. We start off with the western side of Lake Victoria, where we do have Masaka, Kalisizo, Zimbabwe and Rakai. We're forecasting isolated showers. Those showers are already coming your way and even having a few drizzles over the area as we speak. And temperatures are going to be at a pleasant 26 degrees centigrade. Now, that rainy system will continue into your afternoon, so do look out for that. But across the central part of Lake Victoria, that is crossing over to Mukono, Kampala, Entebbe, Wakiso, we're talking about isolated showers as well. Those will be coming your way. We already have those clouds starting to move across, and that will also be at a pleasant 26 degrees centigrade. We could be seeing at least more of the clearing trend later in the afternoon. Soroti, Kata, Kuyamuri, Yakumi, we already have a sunny morning over there, but that will be accompanied by intervals of cloudy conditions. But much of your morning is going to be quite warm. We're looking at temperatures going up to 27. That is quite hot for the area. Now, moving on, we look at the eastern side of Lake Victoria. That is where we do have Tororo, we have Busia, we have Jinja and Iganga in the forecast. We're forecasting isolated showers as that system is already there. We're having cloudy conditions over there. Now, those will be developing into a little bit of rains, but also starting off with a warm morning with temperatures going up to 27 degrees centigrade. Across Masaka still, we will be dealing with most of those rainy conditions for most of the morning, and we'll be looking at more of the rainy weather later in the afternoon. Well, we also want to go ahead and take a look into what you can expect for the entire weekend, and we'll be tapping into some of the models that we have. And from the look of things, when we look at the medium range forecast for Africa, at least most of those are showing that we'll continue to have rains. That is across the southern part of Uganda, most especially the Lake Victoria Basin, where we do expect to have most of those wet weather conditions. But it's clearly depicting, a lower trend in rains that is across across the northern part of the country, across the Karamoja region. So most likely we will be dealing with most of those sunny conditions and also reduced wet weather activities across much of northern Uganda. Now, as we head into Saturday, we're still going to be dealing with reduced wet weather activities across the northern side, West Nile as well. Now, that means also eastern Uganda will be tapping into more of the rainy weather, also crossing over to the Lake Victoria Basin. Then again, as we head into Sunday, that's when things start to, a little bit weaken up. That means we're looking at more of sunny weather. That will be across the northern part of the country still, Karamoja region, but also across central. We might be dealing with much more of those sun. So if you have anything planned and you don't want rains to intervene in your party, you're choosing between Saturday and Sunday, I would suggest Sunday. It looks more clearer when it comes to, wet weather. So if your target is to have a plain day without any rains, that might be looking good for you. But again, we don't rule out those rains, especially if you're anywhere around Lake Victoria, although it looks much better than Saturday, so I'd advise for that. But as we head into Monday again, we'll be looking at much more of rains picking up. That means even the northern Uganda, where it would have been very, very dry, we'll be seeing some of the rains coming through, and that is according to the models that we are tapping into this morning. But again, I will be here on Monday to make sure that, give you much more of those updates. That is according to what we will be having, also what the models are depicting. But right now we want to move off from the weather and talk a little bit of entertainment. Well, there is more that always comes across when you're heading into the weekend, and we do know that we have Vine Awards coming up. If you are a gospel artist or a fan of gospel music, these are ones that you should be looking out for. We do know there will be at Kampala Serena Hotel, and that is one to look out for. I think tickets are still actually selling if you can get yourself tickets to the awards. These are always looked out mostly if you want to celebrate gospel music. Now those are ones you can go for. But again, I want to spot for you some of the movies that you could be looking out for. And we'll go ahead and look into one of the movies called Memory. Now, the good thing with Memory is that it features one of the guys who actually love action, Liam Neeson. Now, this guy is always one of those ones that when it comes to action, he will give it to you straight. And we're talking about Liam Neeson in the movie Memory. Let's take a look into the trailer, and then we'll come back and talk about the review.
We all have to die. What's important is what you do before you go. I'm the bad man. Have been for a long time.
That's 3 people likely killed with the same weapon. What's that?
Found him on the floor. Your shooter's losing his mind.
Anything else I can do for you?
The room number again?
It's on the key holder.
Ah.
The retainer for your services is $10 million. No.
Call the contract off. I don't hurt children, ever. Listen to me very carefully. The girl stays alive. You're answerable to me.
A 13-year-old been relocated to a group home.
Was I here last night?
Yes. What's wrong?
You sure?
Hugo thinks he's a pro settling scores.
Trafficking, Vincent Sierra.
I can't keep doing your job for you.
Who is this?
You're too slow to make them pay. What they did to children, they're not doing anything about it.
He's taking out the traffickers that we couldn't.
He's interfering with an international investigation.
You said he wasn't going to be a problem.
I've done crazy things.
Why don't you and I just have a talk? I know you're not well.
No time for that. If I'm dead, you'll never know the truth.
Stand down!
I want to believe that you're a good man, Vincent. If I can't finish this, you have to. But they have to be punished.
Which side of this do you really want to be on?
I want justice. We all have to die. What's important is what you do.
For a dangerous criminal organization, but he becomes a target. Now, FBI agents and Mexican intelligence are brought in to investigate the trail of bodies. And that is when they come closer to Alex. Now, with the crime syndicates and FBI in hot pursuit of him, he's struggling with several memory loss affecting his every move. Alex is in question for all the action he has taken. Now, this guy is known for movies like Taken. He has been around for the action. This is one you should be looking out for. Already rating 81%, that is according to Google users. This is one you should be looking out for, and it is showing now in a lot of in cinema. And of course, if you have your movie sport, this one movie could actually be already there. But well, if you cannot catch memory, now there is one series that is premiering today that is over Netflix. And if you're a fan of Asian series, these are usually good, and they give you, the good thing with Netflix is it does give you the audio part, whether you want to hear it in Korean or whatever language, but it's also in English in audio. It is premiering today, and we're talking about The Sound of Magic. Well, this is one to look out for. We'll be looking into the trailer, but more of what is coming across is a magician living in an abandoned theme park makes troubles disappear for a disenchanted teenager who is now enduring harsh realities of what is happening. This is just a good series. Let's take a look into the trailer.
그 남자에 대해서 뭐 아는 거 있어? 이름은? 나이는?
다 큰 어른이 이런 문 닫은 놀이동산에서 어설픈 마술사 흉내나 대고.
하기 싫은 일을 하는 만큼 네가 하고 싶은 일도 하라는 거지.
제발 누가 나 좀 도와주세요.
한 나라, 수만 나라.
당신이 마술사라면 이 지옥에.
Well, it is heartfelt, it is emotional, it is musical, but also with magical realism that comes across. That's just one for me. I like magic. I don't know. Just recently we were watching one that was coming in from the old tales of Harry Potter and Dumbledore. The secrets right there. I think I just like magic. This is one that I'm obviously looking forward to. I can't wait for it to drop by, but that is dropping today, so which means the wait is not more. Now, if you're a Marvel fan or a fanatic of what is happening with the Avengers, you will be looking out for this next one. We are talking about Doctor Strange. Well, he's back, and he's back in a very, very exclusive way. We're looking at Doctor Strange in another realism for Marvel. This is premiering actually today. If you're going to have a plot to go to cinema, you should be looking out for Doctor Strange. And this is going to be in 3D actually. If you're a fan of 3D, you know what I'm talking about. It gives you the real experience. Well, Dr. Stephen Strange casts a forbidden spell that opens a portal into the multiverse. However, a threat emerges that may be too big for his team to handle, which is why this is called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There's a lot of madness in that movie. I just can't wait. Let's take a look into the trailer.
The nightmare begins. I did what I had to do to protect our world.
You cannot control everything, Strange. You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right.
I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished.
We should tell him the truth.
Things just got out of hand.
Look out! To become a hero, I do it, I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
A lot of madness in that movie. Benedict Timothy Carlton, who is playing Doctor Strange. We know him from the movie Doctor Strange, but also his recent feature in the Spider-Man No Way Home. He was quite a key figure there playing with Spider-Man, but also for his role as Doctor Strange in the Avenger series, Marvel's Avengers. Well, that is one to look out for. It is premiering and showing already in the cinemas for today. It's your Friday plot if you can't catch other movies. But well, now, there are people who just love reading and movies is not their thing, or you want to take a break from the movies and get into reading. Well, I have one read for you that quite looks good. Imagine a collection of poems. Well, I do like to read a good read for me. If it comes to poems, there's a lot of twists that comes across. But one I'm talking about is A Fortune for Your Disaster. Imagine that. How do you turn disaster into a fortune? Now, when an author's unmitigated brilliance shows up on every page, it's tempting to skip a description and just say, read this. Such in case with his breathless, powerful, deceptively breezy book of poetry. We're talking about Hanif Abdurrajib, who is an author, American author, who is also a poet at the same time, a culture critic. He brings a lot of realism into culture, but also pop culture is in there in this book. A lot of poems, inspiring, but much of what happens in real life. Now, this is rating at very, very incredible rates. Now, Barnes & Noble, if you are a book person, you would know Barnes & Noble doesn't just give anyone any rating. They're giving it 5 out of 5. And, of course, Goodreads is giving it 4.5 out of 5. And Audible.com is giving it 4.8 out of 5. That is incredible rating and one you can look out for. Now, it is selling on Amazon, but also for most of the portals for online reading, you can get this for yourself. It's quite a good read for among the top 10 books of 2022 that you should be looking out for. I think that is one that I would easily go for. I also want to get a copy of that. Now, I don't know. I'm still wondering whether, Philomena, that will bring you here, if you a book person or a movie person, or for this weekend, what would you rather?
Well, I would rather do the movies, and I'll tell you one of the things that is on the top list for me, that is Doctor Strange. I have been on the lookout for this one, so yeah, definitely, by all means, I will have to be there. I don't care how, I don't care when, I don't care what time, but I'll make it a point to make sure that I watch it. So yes.
Yeah, and the fact that Doctor Strange is actually coming in with 3D, it's going to give us that Dolby Atmos that we've been missing. Most of the 3D movies that have been coming out recently were animations, or, you know, one that you wouldn't easily get excited about.
Yes.
But a Marvel in 3D, and you can catch it in Dolby, it's just incredible. I would give that my first go as well for this weekend.
Well, yeah. I can always say that Marvel never disappoints. They're the kings and queens of fantasy action. Yeah, I mean, if you can't be part of it, just like that physically, you can at least watch it in 3D. And you know, it gives you a certain type of comfort that you took part in the movie. So for me, I'm good. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but if you can't catch the movies, or you can't even get that read, there is a plot for this weekend, and that we're talking about Vine Awards that are going to be at the Kampala Serena Hotel. There is a red carpet moment that is starting at 5. Well, if you already have your tickets or getting to the top, to the portals of Vine Awards, you know this is one plot for you that you should be going out for. Now, I don't know whether, Philo, you already have your tickets, or if you don't, if you have a +1, I can recommend a +1.
Mollen, I have two beautiful ladies with me here this morning who are here to talk about Vine Awards, and I am going to make use of this opportunity right here to get a ticket. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to fight my wars from here.
Well, I am already sorted. I think I'll be getting much more of that, but also my designer is on this, and I'm tasking him to get me something to wear for the Vine Awards, and I know he will be doing that. But he did dress me up for today. I'm talking about Alvin Clever, the pants, the shirt, that is all from Alvin Clever. You can find find him at Rural Park Plaza. That is floor 2, shop number F2637. He will be right there, but also across all his social media platforms. That is at Alvin Clever, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. He's right there. He can get you all this for your weekend. If you're going anywhere, you don't want to show up at a movie looking anyhow. You just have to look good, and Alvin Clever is the one guy for you. You should be looking out. I'm recommending a lot of people to him, and everyone is appreciating for sure. So Philomena, I'll leave you to that, and also, you know, if you can catch up for the weekend, that would be great.
Well, I'll find a way of occupying myself, definitely. But thank you so much, Mollen, for the entertainment and every single plot that you've given us, but also for the weather and climate news. Well, yes, we are speaking about this weekend and a lot of plans. Everybody has plans. Well, if you don't, that's why we come in handy and we give you what to do, or we suggest ideas for you to pick from now. Like Mollen did say a couple minutes ago, this weekend we will be having quite an amazing set of awards. And I'm talking about very, very amazing awards here. And of course, we are talking about the Vine Awards that will be happening now. If you don't know what these awards are about, or you know who is going to be here, what categories are we looking at, what is going to be won, where they're going to be happening, well, this morning I am definitely in company of two beautiful women who are definitely going to be giving you all these details. They're in a much better place to give you all that, and obviously you just have to listen in and make sure that you don't miss out on an opportunity like this. Well, thank you for joining us, dear ladies.
Thank you for having us too.
Well, maybe just to start off with who you are, and then maybe we dive deeper into the awards.
Okay, so we are Bunjaville.
Yes.
Yeah. We are representing the band.
Okay.
Bunjaville and Bunjavi Sarah.
And I'm Grace Centum.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Now, let's get straight into the awards. What are these awards? Because I'm pretty sure there's someone out there who knows, okay, well, these are awards, but what are they about, you know?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Vine Awards are basically a celebration for Christian influencers, achievers, performers in different categories.
Yes.
People that write poems, that make movies, comedians, singers. So it's just a moment where we celebrate their work and the achievements they've made in the past year or 2 years. And this is going to all go down on the 7th of May.
7th of May.
Yeah.
And now that you're talking about how, you know, what has been achieved in the 2 years, we know what has been happening in the last 2 years. It has been crazy. People
Yes,
have
it
been, you know,
has.
up and about, and we've been locked in because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
So I guess we really have more reasons to celebrate.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. So what categories are we looking at, to be very specific?
So we are looking at not only music, we have African acts, we
Yes.
have sports,
Yes.
we have fashion, right?
Yeah.
What other acts?
We have social impact, we have book impact.
Yes.
We have so much,
Then
like people that you would never imagine would be at these awards. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically you're looking at local content.
Yeah.
Local content.
When we want to celebrate our own in the best way possible.
So this is limited to the world of Christians,
Yes.
or all these segments. We are looking at the Christian segments, right?
Yes, we are. We're looking at the Christian
And this is going
segments.
down on the 7th of May.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Before we get into that, just to remind you, creative arts, they're celebrating all these musicians, fashionistas, everything and anything. Like we did say, the last 2 years have been crazy for everyone.
Yeah.
But now that we are officially open everywhere, we don't have any limitations. And I still believe that there are very many things that people have been doing despite the fact that we've been locked down.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so for somebody who wants to take part of these, is it by special invitation? Do we have tickets? How do we get to, you know, be part of this?
Well, I do believe that some are invited.
Yes.
Yeah, but of course tickets are available
Yes.
for everyone that wants to join the
Yes.
celebration. Yeah, and you can find the tickets at Sparkle Saloon or at Power FM or even online.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, now you did also say that you're representing the Bunjaville band. Let's talk
Yes,
about
we
the
are.
band. I really love band. I love music. So when I
Oh.
hear anything to do with band, my friends, I am a lot. Talk to me about Bunjaville band.
So Bunjaville Band is a band that was started in 2013.
Yes.
And it was started by Jojo Bunjo, our leader. It's a band that has, I think, over 8 members or 9 members.
Now we're 8 or 9.
Yes, we have singers, instrumentalists. Initially, it was 3 siblings, and then we got together with our friends and decided to create a band.
Wow. So how long have you been in the space for?
The Bunjaville, like how long have we been? Over 2013 to 2022. That's like what, 11?
Okay.
Wait, that's 11? Like 10 years?
Well, approximately
about 5 years.
Yes. Well,
yes,
okay, and you major into Christian music, right?
Yes, Christian music, inspiring the younger generation.
Yes.
Leading them to Christ through music.
So how is the process? How do you come up? Do you write your own songs? Take me through it. Where do you get this inspiration from to come up with your own songs? Yeah.
Okay, so Bunjaville is like a creative space where we have different musicians and singers, and thankfully all of them have different talents and attributes that they add to the band. So we have writers, and 90% of the songs, actually we write our own music. Yes, we write our own music. We have 2 released singles so far. Then we have an upcoming EP coming too in July. Yes, so apart from that, we also do gigs. We also do wedding gigs. We also do churches. We go around in churches doing concerts and stuff like that. And we also collaborate with other bands and other musicians around Uganda too.
Which actually brings me to the next question, because I was about to ask if you've done any collaborations with other, Christian artists. Well, I think it's really, really amazing. Any international artists as well?
In the name of Jesus.
I know, right?
In the name of Jesus, we receive that. We receive that. We will, for sure, one day in the future.
Wow. But if you were given an opportunity, I mean, who, like amongst the international artists, who would you be looking at? Who would you be giving the top priority? I have a list to pick from. Probably I'll go with this one. Who would that number one be?
She should give one.
Individually, I think I'll choose Jonathan McReynolds.
Okay.
Or maybe like another band or another group, maybe Maverick City or Elevation Worship, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are going to put this out there. So
yeah. I think it would be nice if we collaborated with Bethel Music.
Yes.
And Tori Kelly.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think it would be really nice.
And when it comes to the local gospel artists, well, aside from the ones probably have you worked with any anyway amongst the local artists?
We've worked with D-Rain.
Okay.
Yes, there's a song of ours called Rewind It, and he featured. It was a collaboration with him.
Wow.
Rewind It, yes. So far, D-Rain. Yeah.
Okay. Bunjaville Band is what we're talking about right now, and you're going to be part of the these awards as well, right?
Yes,
the vinyl
we are.
awards.
Yes,
Wow.
we are.
The entire time, 24/7.
24/7, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, any projects in the pipeline that we should be looking out for from
Oh yeah,
Bunjaville?
for sure. We have an upcoming EP of 4 songs, and it's going to be released in July. And then we'll also have another concert in August. We'll be letting you know. You can follow our socials on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Bunjaville UG, and TikTok. You can find us there at Bunjaville UG. We'll keep you updated on anything that's coming up.
All right. Now, getting into some of the dynamics when it comes to music, especially gospel music. Now, we have the secular music out there. We also have the gospel music. But in your opinion, how would you say the reception is for the gospel music? Because on several occasions, we've had arguments here in this same, auditorium, me and my co-host, and even very many other people. And they say, there's a question we had where we're saying, well, maybe gospel artists shouldn't be performing, especially when it comes to performing in these clubs, where we have secular music. And one argument that came through was like, well, if you're spreading the gospel, the whole point is to get the people who are not yet there to find a way of bringing them to the side. I mean, what do you think, seeing that you are gospel artists, is this something that you'll be looking into? Probably go in a secular place and sing your gospel music for as long as you have the audience. Would you is this something you'll be looking into, or you're restricted to certain kinds of places or venues, or if you're doing your performances? Yeah.
I wouldn't say that we are restricted, because we're not forced into it. It's just a choice that we make every day, that yes, it's true, we want to spread the gospel to everyone, but at the same time we do not want to offend ourselves and God and other people in the process. So we can reach these people even if we do not go to certain places like bars and clubs and all that. That is why we're not restricted to do wedding gigs, because you'll find all people at weddings. You'll never know who is Christian or not.
Selective.
Yeah, so we'll go and spread the word there. And that is also why we're organizing a concert for everyone to come. We do not mind if you're Christian or not, you can come, because our music is to inspire. And we write music that you can relate to, even if you're not a Christian, you can still relate to it as long as you're a youth or going through hard time or anything like that. So we are restricted to some point, but we try to find ways to go over that without offending anyone.
And like she said, like we could always reach these people without having to go. Because now we have social media, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, so we could always reach
everybody's on
everyone.
TikTok, everybody's on Instagram,
on YouTube, you know. So it's a thing about principle also, you know, like at the end of the day we do want to reach these people, but then also we have certain principles that we follow, you know, as Christians, and the things that God expects from us.
Wow. So, wow. And any challenges that you face while you are trying to do what you're doing? Oh, you're good. You're okay.
Definitely.
Really? It looks like there is a stack of challenges.
They're always there.
They're always there. Like, well, personally for me, being that the band started as 3 siblings, they're always together. Okay, they were always together because it's a family and all that. So they would always like. Their schedules would always like fit into their time, and then I personally would find it hard because I serve at my own church, and then I also have to serve with this band. So the challenges came in when I remember they sat me down and told me I had to choose one.
Wow. Make the choice.
I was so devastated because I wanted both, but I didn't know how to deal with both. So I took a break from everything. And I don't know, but I think it was just God just really helped. And right now our schedules like don't really collide as much as they used to. And it flows now. Flows, I think.
It's very seamless.
It's very
you get through it.
simple and good and comfortable. So the challenges are just,
and everybody else joined in, just to find out from you, how is it like working with family? Because we've seen certain complications and complexities, and not just even band, but like in other businesses. We've seen family-run businesses where there's several huge challenges. You know, you're probably on different pages, or you know, there is a bit where you have to cross certain borders, or rather boundaries, and it becomes hard because now this is family. You feel like you're offending. There are very many challenges anyway. So how does it feel? How was it? Was it really a rosy? Were you all siblings on the same page, or of course all you had your own issues? How was the experience like?
Well, first of all, we're not always on the same page because we are, first of all, the 3, right? I have 5 siblings in total, but the band we're 3 of them, right? So the biggest challenge is we all have different personalities, first of all, right? And we all have our own like point of views, or like we all have different tastes. But I think that the biggest challenge would be my brother is also the leader, right? So like you're used to disturbing him, you know how siblings are. Like, why are you telling me what to do? But then at the end of the day, the biggest challenge was to divide and to like now be like, okay, you know what, for Sarah, Jojo is talking to you as your leader now, not as your brother. Even if sometimes there's some things that you don't agree with. I remember I would like argue sometimes, like let's say maybe about set lists. These things happen. It's not like it's a big fight, but I think it's also healthy because we're different. So obviously it's expected. So like maybe about a set list, it's like, sorry, you're gonna sing this, you're gonna sing this voice, you can do this voice, you have to sing this. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. So things like that, you're like, oh my God. But on the other hand, Bambi, we have so much in common. I think the things we have in common outweigh our differences big time. When it comes to songwriting, when it comes to like singing and our taste in music,